And it's been really fun to see your faces and yes, get to know you a little bit more. So you got a couple more minutes, buddy, if you want to stay. Okay, I know you're tired. Okay, so we have a little bit of training just quickly, and then we have a whole bunch of exciting news that we're going to share with y'all tonight. So training first, exciting news second, and then we're going to talk about if you guys got time to go over your goals that you set 3 months ago. So it's going to be a fun night. Okay, so the most exciting time of the year is coming up, fall, which technically I think it was like 2 days ago, but the last quarter of the year, October, November, December, are they're just known to be like really high volume months. So that's exciting because people are looking forward to learning all the information about proactive health and taking better care of their families and how to get toxins out. And it just seems like all the seeds that we've been planting throughout the year are now harvesting, and so we can pick them. And it's really, really exciting. And people who haven't even shown interest in the last 8 months will finally show interest, and it's really fun. So I wanted to give y'all 5 tips for how to enter into the fall season, because I think some of you guys were around last fall, maybe just starting your business, but so this might be your first big experience with fall. So tip number 1 is to share wellness tips. So we want to be really generous with the education that we're giving people. Instead of having a voice of, hey, let's like don't get a flu shot this year, or like condemning, we want to share like things that build people up, where they're excited to learn from you and they don't feel condemned about the choices that they've been making in the past. Because we've all been there, right? We all at one time or another did not know about this toxin-free lifestyle and about proactive health, and someone told us in a kind way and our eyes were open. So we want to do that for other people. So share about oils and share about things that aren't oils, all types of wellness. So like if you enjoy making bone broth, share how to make bone broth. I remember last year Kelsey shared that whenever they got home during the flu season, that they took off their shoes at the front door and they changed their clothes and like washed their hands immediately. So they left all the germs at the door. Just things like that people aren't thinking about, but that can help them stay well. And when you're generous with your tips, people are going to trust you. I think Kate shared that in a video earlier this week. So yeah, that just really resonated with me, that we want people to trust us. Tip number 2, this is nothing new, but host classes. This is an incredible time of the year, especially October and early November. Like those 6 to 7 weeks are going to be your prime time to teach classes, because otherwise the holidays come in and then it just gets hard for people to get together. But especially moms of children who are back in school, they want to learn, teachers, you know, it's just like flu season is coming. So people want to learn how to get through it well. So teach classes and call it something fun. Like, I don't know, I'm really bad with these kind of things, but winter wellness, or that's not really fun, but something that's not Oils 101, like put a fun spin on it. Which leads us into point number 3, is to talk about supplements and proactive health. So this is something that you're going to want to cover in your class, is how to build up your immune system so that when sickness comes, you're ready to fight. Okay, so talk about Life 9, talk about inner defense, talk about MU Pro, like all of these things we want to have in our wellness cabinets so that whenever things come along, like you're prepared and you don't have to run to Walgreens or CVS because you didn't think to prepare. Talk about how when you can make a immune roller. So put some thieves, frankincense, and oregano in there and roll it on your spine every day, because if you guys haven't heard me say this yet, your spine is where viruses live. So rolling on your spine is just being really proactive and keeping yourself well. Also, lots of products go out of stock in the winter months whenever people really want them. So encourage your team to stock up on cough drops, on what else goes out of stock? Like hand sanitizer, Inner Defense, Life9,
RC,
yes, thank you. Raven, Ravensara is another really good oil for the winter time. And of course the Ningxia, getting that in before the freezing months so that you can not pay the expensive 3-day shipping. And we'll touch on this all throughout the Rose Society at different points, so you're not completely on your own, but just reinforcing that where your own team is hearing it from your point of view is super helpful. Number 4 is to share your stories. So people really resonate with stories as opposed to just always getting information shoved at them. I noticed, Kelly Dale, you do this really good on your Facebook, is where you use something and then you share like how it's impacted you, like the Sandalwood Moisturizer Cream this week. If you guys are friends with Kelly, go check out that post. But just sharing how something is impacting you and how you're seeing a difference in your life from using it really resonates with people, and they feel like they can connect with you. So if you do get sick, if you do come down with something, talk about what you're using to support yourself. And if you notice, maybe compared to last year, like how quickly you're able to fight that off. A story that I haven't shared yet, but I have been planning on it, just things got a little busy, is that I actually came down with a 12-hour flu, and I haven't gotten sick in like 4 or 5 years, a really long time. And it was like 2 weeks postpartum, and my birth story is that I went to natural labor but ended up in the hospital. So I got a ton of like antibiotics and just a bunch of junk pumped into my body, which killed all of my good bacteria that I had been building up. So of course I got sick, and it was not fun. But my husband and daughter stayed well because their immune systems were still strong from the building up that we had done. So that makes me want to share about Life9. And yeah, so stories. Okay. Number 5 is relationships. So your team that you already have, I actually found this to be really true of myself just a couple of days ago whenever I was sharing about the sales. But I noticed that the last time I reached out to the majority of my sales of my team was when there was another sale previously. And so I realized that they hadn't really heard encouraging bits from me in the meantime. I just became the like, hey, there's Young Living sale. Hey, there's Young Living sale. And it didn't come as a surprise to me that a lot of them didn't respond, because I had noticed that I stopped personally connecting with them since the last sale and giving them education. So don't do what I did. Continue to build into your team and reach out to them to foster those relationships, because we know the fall does come with a lot of good sales. October is going to have another Young Living rally, which in the past has always had a sale of some sort. So there's going to be that. There's always Black Friday sales. So build into your team before those time periods so that they feel loved and not just, hey, buy stuff. So those are your 5 tips to have an awesome fall. Okay, let's see. This is not going to be a smooth transition. Okay, so prepare. Ready? Shifting focus. Actually, here, let me take a drink of water so I don't enter my coughing fit.
I was going to say really quick while you're taking a drink of water, if reaching out to your team not as in a like for sales seems overwhelming, the easiest thing and the most responses I've noticed that I get is if I take like 20 friends and I text them like just a screenshot of fall diffuser recipes, or like a picture of here's how to make an immune roller with your thieves and your frank, and just something where they feel like you're adding value. So it can be totally like 5 seconds, and it's nice when they look back and see that from you instead of just the sales stuff.
Yes, good point. Thank you. Okay, so next transition is we're going to have some changes in the Roast Society. Don't be frightened. It's really exciting. Okay, so if you were with us, I think you all were, whenever we decided to form the Roast Society from the mermaids, we did things a little bit different. So the mermaids had the education group, and the mermaids dive deeper, which was previously called the business group. Okay, so that's what we were all used to. And Kelsey Kimmer and I wanted to try something different, where we wanted to have the business opportunity normalized and out there for everyone to hear, as opposed to only the people who have opted into the business group. So we made the Roast Society, which was our main hub, and then we made the wellness group. After trying it for 3 months, we decided that it was going okay, but seemed a little bit redundant in the Roast Society, that we kind of were running out of things to talk about. And yeah, we didn't want to be shoving things down people's throats constantly. So we're going to kind of merge the Roast Society and the wellness group into what's called the Roast Society, but it will all move to the wellness group. So all of that information will still stay there. And then we'll just be sprinkling in information about Essential Rewards, about freedom and the business opportunity, but not a lot of the business opportunity, more like commissions were posted, here's the freedom that we're experiencing, or, like stories of, I was on maternity leave and made a bigger paycheck than I did last month by lying in my bed most of the month. So stuff like that people can hear and then decide to join the other group if they want to. So the second group is yet to be named, but something fun, and it will be more business tips, training, how to hustle together. It's going to be for newbies, so people who are just getting started with the business, and for veterans. So we're going to cover both. But actually, backing up, that's the biggest reason, honestly, why we decided to change the groups, is because we missed being able to pour that into people. We felt like we were missing an area where we could really love on people who wanted to run. So that's why we formed Hustle and Heart, but that's only a 12-week thing, and not everyone wanted to hustle in the summertime. So that's the biggest reason, honestly, for why we're going to be changing the groups. And with that, we have a really fun way to kick off the new change. So it's going to start in October, on the 1st or the 2nd. I don't know. The 1st is a Sunday, so probably more so on the Monday. But we wanted to give y'all a heads up, because we want you guys, and we said this at the very beginning of the Roast Society, but we want y'all as our leaders to feel like this is your place to pour out onto your team, to let your team see you as a leader. So, you've done a phenomenal job of sharing your wellness tips, of checking in there and being so proactive in the comments and doing a great job of that. And we want to continue to invite you to do that in the new business group, we'll just call it for now, that people can see how you're doing your business, more than just what's working Wednesday, where one tip a week is not sufficient. So we're excited to invite you to continue to be our awesome leaders in that. So Kelsey is going to talk about the very beginning of our new group and a little thing she deemed October.
Yeah, so I want to just back up really shortly. I don't know if you guys saw the poll that I did where you could like pick your option of, or not pick your option, but like some things I learned at Silver Retreat and what would you guys most be interested in learning about. Do you guys remember that post? So I put the little blurb in there about like how to go from poverty to overflowing and what I learned from Sarah Harnish, totally not thinking anyone would choose it. And it had tons and tons of choices from people that like, it's not just us, like other people who don't even do the business side. So on this Thursday, I'm going to post it tonight as soon as we're done here, but I'm going to go live and kind of share a little bit of that in the Big Rose group and just talk about the types of freedom that this business can afford and kind of share that from a personal or, you know, from like a story. And that will kind of announce to all of our people how we're going to structure that group more business tip and like equipping and running together type of vibe. Does that make sense? Cool. So then on October 1st, so like Sunday night, we'll do like an intro thing where everybody who's still in that group can kind of be like, here's who I am. I'm so excited. Like, let's build community and go after this. And then all of October is going to be like a huge equipping and practical month because there's so much coming at us all the time that we just need to get like down and dirty with it. That sounds bad, but you know what I'm saying? So it won't always be like this in the group, but for the month of October, we're going to call it Rocktober. We're going to go after it because this is like the upswing of the fall. Each day there'll be like a little tiny, nothing like this long of training, but some sort of tip, whether it's like, here's what all these OGV, PGV, PV means, or here's how you get your paycheck, or here's how to close your class, or here's how to introduce essential rewards to someone, or whatever. So there'll be like a little training piece, and then there'll also be some sort of income producing activity so that like if you just feel kind of paralyzed with like all the stuff to do, that you can come find like one specific action to do each day so that we can all just like keep seeing that forward motion and that momentum. So this is going to be a great place to like plug in your friends who have just mentioned they're interested in the business opportunity. Also a great review for us who've been doing this for a while, just to like, you know, revisit those basics. And we're really just going to spend the whole bulk of the time on teaching classes / signing people up, getting people on ER, and building into your leaders, because those are the three things that are going to build your business. So we're not going to like do all this fringe stuff. We're just going to go after, here's what's going to move us forward. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be fun and just get, you know, down to the basics. And like Hannah said, just as much as like we want everyone to just join in, you know, step up, be involved, go after it, bring your people, like let's all lock arms and do it together. You're going to reach people that like we don't know that wouldn't necessarily like care if we were posting something, but when they see you there, they're going to be like, okay, I'm part of this. Like those are my people. That's all. I ran it.
Thank you. One more thought on the change in the groups is this is super exciting because I hope that your team will feel as if there's a whole slew of people running with them as opposed to just you trying to train them in how to do things. So it's going to take a lot of pressure off of you guys. And we'll just share the load. And honestly, this is where the passion lies in me, Kelsey and Kimber, is we love to pour into those who are chasing after their dreams. So we missed it, and we're bringing it back. If y'all have questions, we will answer them in the end. But I wanted to talk super quick, lastly, about reflecting on your goals. I don't know what did you guys get a chance to look over the goals you set from 3 months ago and ask yourself some of those questions this weekend? just a head nod or yes, a lot of you. Good job. Okay, cool. I'm proud of you. Yeah, reflecting is so helpful. Did you guys learn things that you didn't realize were going on? Or not surprised? Learned things? Not surprised. Lots of you learned things. Good. Okay, awesome. Well, I wish that we had time that I could hear all those things. But if you want to message me them, I'd gladly dialogue with you about it. But we have 3 more months until the end of 2017. And I was reading along the comments of the goals post from 3 months ago, and just seeing what you guys have done. And I think I commented like if you hit them and how excited I was for you. And a lot of you are still really close to your goals and they're super within reach for the end of 2017. So I want you to spend some time right after this, if you have 20 minutes, since your brain is already going that way, to think about what your goals are for the next 3 months, for the end of 2017. Where do you want to be? Make it realistic, but also a little bit stretching, because remember that this fall season is statistically awesome. So, of course, with some work, it's not just going to be awesome without some work, but throw some work in there and it's going to be skyrocketed. So break it down into monthly goals. Think of your big 3-month goal, break it down into monthly goals, and then weekly goals. So it's going to be really tangible of how you can get this big goal into baby steps and working your way there. So I believe in you guys. Whatever goals you set for yourself, I really do think that you can get there with some hustle and heart. So Kimber wanted to, well, I asked her to, if she would just lead us in a little time of reflection. So Kimber, take it away, girl.
Yeah, so I think Hannah mentioned in her post, just to kind of think about something that you took away from the past 12 weeks, whether it's a tip that was shared or something that you guys implemented that worked really well for you. So this is a time where we want to hear from you guys what those things were. It doesn't have to be long. I think we only have a little bit of time left. So if we just want to go around and you guys just share one thing that you got that has propelled your business forward, or that shifted a change in how you do things or how you think. So if someone wants to start, and then I'll just kind of go around and I'll ask people. That way we're not waiting for people to talk. So someone go ahead and start us off, and then I'll just call people out. Oh, we have to unmute. 1 second. Do you know how, Mom?
No, I don't.
Go.
Okay.
Good. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I guess the big thing I learned was at classes to be upfront with ER, with the ways to be able to afford these oils, including to share with friends. That was huge.
Jillian, do you have anything?
Yes, of course I do. Okay, so my top 2 were the IPAs, and really throwing them out there and talking about them, and kind of the challenge to go and do them is the push I needed. But then the Zoom call we did about adding value to our team, I've really been focusing on loving extra hard on my downline. So just putting the things right out there in our face so we knew exactly what's worked for the 3 of you has been really helpful.
Awesome. Sam, do you have anything to share?
Just how important it is to listen to all of you guys and then implement like what I've learned here. And I haven't been here all 12 weeks, so I've only been here I don't know how many weeks, but I've learned so much in just those weeks, and like being able to implement them in my own classes has been awesome. So
Awesome. Amy? Oh, who can unmute her?
Who are we on meeting?
Amy.
You're good. I got you.
To just try to get all of my people on ER, which I only have one more person that's not on ER yet.
You're rocking it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's amazing. That's a huge ER percentage.
Hopefully I can get more.
Nicole?
I think the biggest thing that I took away was setting little goals to work up to the big goal. Like each month I had and Jillian will tell you, last month when she was pushing real hard, I was ready to push, but I was like, this is my goal this month. And yeah, we want to exceed it. But I was like focused on each month's goal to work up to the big goal this month. So it's still working for us though.
Awesome. Felicia?
One thing I really took away is just kind of stepping out of your comfort zone and going ahead and making those posts on Facebook and just putting yourself out there. And it's really not as scary once you start to do it.
You've done a good job at that. Kelly, do you have anything to share?
Got it. What?
You were
Sorry.
unmuted for a second. Okay, go ahead.
I'm just having the courage to keep having a dream. Yeah. Because the dream wants to die sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh. Anna? Vasquez?
Yeah, okay. So mine would definitely be I can't remember who did it, but it was about the parties and like not going above and beyond, like making all this food. And anyway, so I didn't do that last time, and I had 2 people that bought kits, and I was like amazed. And every other party I just like stressed myself out and I didn't sell any. So I mean, that was a huge help.
Kristen?
I'd say probably the biggest thing has been that just because something worked for one person and it didn't work for me doesn't mean that like I shouldn't give it another try. Or I mean, it's like everybody does something a little bit different, but as long as you just listen to your heart and stay true with what you're comfortable with, like that's how you really end up succeeding. So that's been the most, and that really helps because there's like support from, you know, all of you, and that helps a lot. And then it helps me keep supporting my team. Like, don't give up, you know, we're going to be okay. You know, we're all here together and, you know, we'll figure out what's going to work. So that's been really cool.
I do love all the different personalities in here. Pat? Someone will have to unmute Pat probably.
Oh, there she is.
Here I am.
Good, Pat.
I think one thing I loved, Kelsey's IPAs. That was wonderful. And I have them printed and I have them in front of me. Summer was tough for my team. We kind of went backwards, but we had a meeting yesterday with 2 of the leaders and myself. And ask somebody else.
Oh,
okay. It went really well. No, it went really well.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
It's hard when you fall backwards and you got to get back up. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry.
And know that other people have been there.
I know. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Thank you for sharing. Jessica? Oh, we'll have to unmute you too.
Oh, she just didn't. Sorry, that was me.
I pretty much just really took away from it, like different ways to talk to people and how to talk to my team about oils. Like even just hearing about them every week and other people just talking about them the whole time kind of gave me different ways to bring them up.
Sweet. Awesome. And last but not least, Gina.
I think the biggest thing that I learned was Kelsey and I had a conversation about consistency, and that the difference that I saw from one month to another was the consistency of me showing up every single day, whether it was just a small thing or not. So that's what I've learned.
Love it.
I love hearing those things, and that there were, I mean, like I said, so many different personalities in here, and that we could all pull different things from it, kind of like what Kristen said, just that different things work for all of us, but we can all learn from each other. So it's been a really sweet time to get to do this together. And I'm proud of everyone, like Hannah said.
So proud. Y'all are rock stars. Okay, we're going to leave Hustle and Heart up for maybe a month, but after that we will close the group. So if you wanted to go back and watch any of the trainings or save some of the info, do that, and then we'll take it down. So yeah, were there any questions about the change in the group? We have 2 minutes left, but I wanted to ask real quick. I know we're over time.
If you have any brilliant name suggestions that go along with the roses, holler at me.
No. Okay. Well, let me know. Let any of us know if you do have questions. But other than that, y'all enjoy your night and take some time to think about your goals for the end of 2017. I'd love to hear them if you want to share. So, Hustle and Heart out.
Peace.